Hi, my name is Mariama Kabia, and I'm Senior Associate on the Youth Engagement Team at Women Deliver. I'm here in the Youth Zone, and you're about to see some clips from the WD 2019 Youth Zone, where young people shared their own stories of advocacy and creativity, where they're moving the needle for girls and women.
A time that I made a difference for gender equality is when I decided to start living with equality and humility, to start accepting who I was and what I had to offer, what I had to share with others, and to not feel afraid or live in fear in what I had to share. Because there is nobody who is better than anyone, more perfect. Nobody's perfect. And to live with equality is to share and to learn from others and to grow and to build with each other. But a time I made a difference is when I started to accept everybody for what they had to offer and what they had to share, and to truly accept my word of truth and to live with love in myself.
Hello, I'm Sonaki from India. So I have been doing a project called Reboot of Thoughts on Menstruation, which is about breaking the taboos of menstruation around India. As you know, that in India, lots of people go through a lot of menstrual taboo. When I was in school, I was a victim of menstrual taboo, you can say. So I'm doing a project on that. I'm collecting videos of people. I'm trying to connect to many people to get their videos. My organization, World Association of Girl Guides, Girl Scouts, and my national association, the Bharat Scouts Guides, has always helped me doing that, and I'm working on the SDGs too. For that, I'm working on gender equality so that girls can get a period safe environment in their schools, colleges, and always get the support and respect of boys and people around them. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Justine Daniel Bautista from the Philippines. I'm representing the World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts. I will be conducting a project for body image and self-esteem in our country of the girls. So this will focus on creating an awareness and giving solution on the effects of negative body image and low self-esteem of the girls, which affects their mental health. So I would like to help them by providing a solution which we call the Action on Body Confidence Toolkit that could be implemented in different schools so that girls will be empowered to love themselves for who they are and for what they look like. So it's like more on accepting who you are and being confident with how you look and not being pressured by the society.
What's up? This is Angelica from the World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts. Well, today I am advocating about girls' nutrition because in some countries there are unequal rights of food and girls. That's what I am.
One time I made a difference for gender equality was in the work of advancing safe and accessible abortion care access in terms of sexual reproductive health, especially in rural communities. I think that when we talk about abortion, it's often left out of sexual reproductive health because it's often more controversial, and we have policies such as the gag rule that are limiting funding. But despite those barriers, I think the importance of ensuring that there are safe, accessible, and free abortion care, not just in Canada but globally, is very important, and it's work that I am committed to continually doing.
Hi, my name is Jules Kabia and I'm from Outlet Nunavut. I am an Inuit youth who lives in the Arctic region of Canada. I've been the National Inuit Youth Council President for the past 2 years, and this is where I make my difference in gender equality. National Inuit Youth Council is an advocacy organization for all Inuit youth in Canada, including Nunavut, Nunavik, Nunavut, and Inuvialu. If you want to know more about these regions and what we do in our council, go to itk.ca. Thank you.
What is one time you made a difference for gender equality? I think for me, it's been helping to create platforms for women to tell their stories, but not just all women,
specific groups of women. In particular, I run a network called How She Hustles based in Toronto. We've got a reach of about 15,000 women across different social media platforms. And I was very proud to work with an incredible group of young Black women and our public broadcaster, CBC, to create a digital photo series called Her Story in Black. Stories of 150 Black women who could show that women can do it too. We can be neuroscientists, we can be architects, we can be tattoo artists, we can be whatever we want to be. And sometimes, especially when we talk about gender equality, we forget that there's all kinds of intersectionality. We need to see different models of excellence and different kinds of women. I'd love to talk to HP about sharing more stories that can really make a difference in this world.
Running a project on access and utilization of contraceptives among girls and women in rural areas, whereby it's the men to decide for their women whether to use contraceptives or not. And most times they deny them the right to use the contraceptives, so they end up having more children that they do not want or accept or look after. So in my project, we engage the leaders as well as the men themselves, the family heads, and give them information about the family planning and contraception, doing away with myths and misconceptions. And later on, this brought about change, and they became positive, empowered the young girls, the women to access these contraceptive services so that they could have a choice on using contraceptives in the communities. Thank you.
Oh, it's recording. So I had an experience where I was experiencing sexual harassment, and I finally spoke up and told the organization, and they did something really great about it and confronted it head on and made a change for the individual and for the entire organization. What about you? You can talk about anything.
Okay, well, we've changed policies in one of the positions I was in so that women who had just given birth and were back from maternity leave could bring their children with them out to the field with a nanny, so that they would not be excluded from certain jobs, and they also would not stunt their professional growth because they would have that ability to still have their children nearby and be able to work at the same time.
That's cool.
I made a difference when I started talking about gender equality, checking our norms in the Philippines, trying to resist what makes girls hinders to actually claim their rights, and eventually helping the community by getting more allies from male counterparts to create a gender equal society.
There was one time I joined a protest for a lady in my country who was killed by her husband, and he was not charged at all. I also helped to record this protest which was happening and also shared it to raise awareness on social media.
I spoke up about gender equality and lack of female participation in economic and political forces in Japan. Non-denial.
I don't know. I think when I just started my project called Non-Denial Project for demanding better access to modern contraceptive. Oh my god, my speak is very boring.
Yeah, I feel like those are the two times we started, but we are continuing to make a difference for gender equality.
One time I made a difference for gender equality was through my studies at the University of Toronto. I was studying physical education, and during the time that I was there, my staff and I were wondering why the participation rates of women were so low. So I conducted a study, a year-long study, including interviews and observations about why participation rates might have been low. We interviewed women, we interviewed men, and it was really enlightening to see how the men were really supportive and actually offered, real-time, practical solutions, to get more women into the weight room. It was amazing just to see that support from the men yeah, that was an eye-opening experience for me, and also to be able to present the research to my supervisors and have them implemented. It was just amazing.
Hi, my name is Lori. I work with Women Deliver. My story of advocacy is that I work with young leaders all around the world. We give small grants to young people and put technology in their own hands so that they can make a difference in their own communities on their own terms. We're so excited to be here at Women Deliver 2019 exploring the theme of power, progress, change. And I hope everyone out there is inspired to tell their own story of advocacy this week. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Michelle Malanky. I work at HP, and the one time I made a difference around gender equality was by launching our partnership with Women Deliver and their young leaders. We've placed technology in the hands of 15 young leaders to help them amplify and share their stories of advocacy around Sustainable Development Goal number 5.
I'm really excited about diversity, inclusion, and belonging. My focus is really to bring better equality for women and for underrepresented groups through recruiting, through retention, through promotion in the corporate environment.
Positive role modeling with my daughter and her friends, as well as my son from the day they were born.
The one time I made a difference of gender equality is when I let the girls around me be able to make decisions and be understood among everybody, so that the boys won't take advantage of their force and their power, but they'll also be able to leave the girls to express themselves freely, and so everybody could come to come to a great solution, and everything went out well.
So my story of advocacy for gender equality is in my professional career, not looking at gender as even a factor. That I've worked in industries that are traditionally male-dominated, and really just not thinking about gender as being even an issue, that opportunities are available to everyone. If they can do the work, they should have the same opportunities.
Gender equality, I think, makes so many different people think so many different things about how existence works. And I am the co-founder and co-executive director of Artolution, which is an international community-based public arts organization, and we paint murals with kids in refugee camps and conflict zones around the world. And in the Rohingya refugee camps, we became very close with a series of women who had never left their homes, who were never allowed to go into public and to become leaders. And we were able to find them and to be able to invite them to come and paint. And to this day, they are now facilitating local girls, women, families to tell their stories through painting murals. And one of the most amazing stories was one little girl who came up to one of our artists and said, "I didn't know that a woman could be an artist." That is my story.
Hi everyone, this is Sam from Bangladesh. I have worked in remote areas of Bangladesh through UNICEF and UNDP. I've seen many differences especially for the males who are taking decisions about the life of a mother and the children. So I want to change that for Bangladesh. I want to invest the rest of my life to make equal decision making in childbirth for the mothers, and I want to really see a better world where no mothers is dying because of delayed decision making, delayed services at the facility. So I want to advocate for the all male who can join this initiative with me, and I think we are the male who can make changes for this world, and we can bring better world with our better decision with the women. Thank you very much.
Gender equality is really important to me and to all of the young people that I work with. I lead the International Youth Alliance for Family Planning. It's an organization that I co-founded, and it's comprised of young leaders who want to fight for sexual and reproductive health and rights. The best part of this organization is that it's not only led by women, but we also have 50-50 gender parity among all of our youth leaders. So I believe that by running this organization, making sure it's youth-led and making sure that it is gender equal and promoting gender equality is the time I made a difference for gender equality.
I think I'm making a difference right now by just being at this conference and getting educated about women's health, women's rights, and everything that they're doing here. And then when I go back home, I can imply that to our little town. And what about you, Quinn?
I think it's really great that we get to meet people from all around the world and just learn about the ways that they're making a difference. Yeah, so we can take that back to where we're from and try to make a difference as much as we can.
What is one time you made a difference for gender equality? Oh, c'était l'année passée. Avec mon blog, je me suis dit c'était bien de faire des articles, de rencontrer de nouveaux jeunes et tout, mais c'était aussi important d'avoir une campagne pour être en contact avec des jeunes, des enfants, pour discuter avec eux des l'égalité de genre et surtout des violences basées sur le genre. Parce que je me suis rendu compte qu'il y avait énormément d'actions communautaires pour sensibiliser en milieu rural, mais dans les écoles, il manquait parfois des acteurs. Donc j'ai contacté une amie qui a une association humanitaire et on s'est lancé. Donc on a discuté avec les jeunes sur c'était quoi l'égalité de genre, c'est quoi les violences basées sur le genre, comment on peut les identifier, comment on peut les éliminer très tôt. Et surtout pour les jeunes filles, c'est quoi le féminisme et quel féminisme pourrait correspondre justement au contexte du Sénégal et en général de l'Afrique de l'Ouest.
Hello, made a difference in gender equality, so I co-founded a tech social venture that supports pregnant teens and young moms where they can get health information, emotional support, and information on social services so they can they can continue their education and pursue careers even after they had given birth. So we believe that we should support young mothers pursue their dreams and improve their health outcomes. So yeah, so that's how I personally am trying to make a difference in gender equality and supporting women, and specifically mothers and families all over the world.
C'est que premièrement, c'est essayer de viser des métiers où il n'y a pas beaucoup de femmes. C'est parfois dur déjà premièrement en tant que femme noire, parce que on voit toujours la femme noire pas en tant que cette personne qui a beaucoup de pouvoir. Donc
My Step Towards Gender Equality is a documentary that I'm working on that follows the lives of 2 survivors of domestic violence and 2 law students who are in the process of becoming gender-based violence advocates themselves with the ultimate hope of representing survivors when they become full-fledged lawyers. I'm so excited for this project and just the platform that it will be to really talk about the importance of protecting women, supporting women, and equipping them with the right legal support that legal support is victim-centric. We need to support our warrior women and amplify their stories, and I'm so excited to see where this project will go, and I've been learning as we've been going through this, and I am excited to learn even more.
What is one time you made a difference for gender equality? I live with endometriosis as well as mental illness. My personal experience is that with my endometriosis, quite frequently following a flare-up, I experience depression and anxiety. This being said, I've attended the hospital for both endometriosis pain as well as mental health concerns. Both times going there, I have struggled a lot with being a female and having my voice heard and being told that I'm crazy or that my pain is in my head. The fact that I have a diagnosis seems to be kind of a catch-all. So when I go looking for supports for pelvic pain or pain during intercourse, oftentimes I'm told that it's my depression and that I need to still work on that. So I try and advocate against that and for both.
I made a difference in gender equality in my country when I served as National Director for Youth Organization in the Peruvian government. The Peruvian government managed to push forward a really ambitious gender equality approach at the national educational curriculum. However, this was taken away by conservative group by the national parliament through a legislative action. What I managed to do and how I managed to make a difference in gender equality is that we made a nationwide decentralized participation and accountability process for the implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals, which lead to young people identifying as gender equality as a government priority by 2030 and contributing for the reincorporation of the gender equality approach at the national educational curriculum. Gender equality benefits us all. Gender equality must be a priority for all. Thanks.
So there was this one time, because we run a youth hub where I come from. So when we just opened it, we were still trying to figure out who should be in the youth hub. I mean, we did discuss young people, but then which kind? So we decided to approach an organization called Girls Not Brides. They were running school clubs. So we went and got an all-girls team and we put them in the youth hub and we kind of discussed gender stereotypes, and it went on for weeks and weeks and weeks, and young girls felt empowered, and that was the one time I made a difference in gender equality.
The one time I made a difference in gender equality, I think I make it all the time by using my voice and speaking. I think that's very important. Many people forget that one voice is all it takes really to change the whole world. So I guess it's all the time, even just being a girl and fighting for it and, engaging other people. Yeah, your voice. The one time I made a difference in gender equality was probably when I started this whole journey, realizing that there's so many girls out there and there's so many women that need to be empowered, and actually realize that full potential was one way that I made a difference. So we started organizing and we'd have these club meetings all the time in school, and it was honestly really fun. And so I guess just hearing the stories of many young women and how they've been oppressed and all those things, and then getting them to actually be comfortable and realizing that they too can be leaders, they too can be powerful, and they too have the potential to make a difference was one of the most amazing times in my life, especially because I was quite young by then. I was 13, if I remember correctly. So that was really fun. And the fact that there were different age groups, it wasn't just the younger generation or us, but there were so many others. So it was really good.
The one time I made a difference in gender equality, I attended her club meeting.
Yes, he did.
Hi. Together with my organization, DSW, we were fighting in Germany to get the German government, through advocacy, to prolong the family planning initiative that they have. It's a bilateral family planning initiative with 100 million euros annually, and they did earlier this year. They decided to prolong it until 2023, and we are working with the German Parliament to increase the youth focus of this bilateral family planning initiative, which is an ongoing battle. But the money is at least already there, and I'm sure we can move the needle on making the German bilateral family planning initiative much more youth focused, and we would love to have more youth voices joining us in Germany. For any questions, do let me know.
Hi, my name is Autumn Jules, Sky de Uyukat de Sauk, de Sling Kwan, Kuka'u. My Tlingit name is Sky de U. I'm from Teslin. Inland Teslin Tlingit. Gender equality. How I made a difference in gender equality in my community is breaking the cycle, the intergenerational trauma, to be able to be chief one day. There hasn't been a chief yet in my community, and that's been my dream, that's been my goal for a long time now, to work towards that, not just for me, but for the next 7 generations. And I think that domino effect will empower and be able to enlighten and build capacity with so many of our strong Indigenous women that didn't think that it was ever a possibility. Just being the trailblazer to show them that they can do this and that it is possible to be chief in our community.
Currently, data is not available on the number of survivors of gender-based violence are attending the health facilities in Bangladesh. According to a study in 2015, it has been shown that more than 72% women of reproductive age are anyhow abused or physically or sexually abused by their husband. Now UNFP is supporting Ministry of Health to integrate the gender-based data in the DHIS2, and it must be age and sex disaggregated data. So evidence-based intervention is ensured, will be ensured in that case.
One of the times I've made a difference for gender equality was when I was working for a youth-led organization called Choice for Youth and Sexuality. The organization focuses mainly on meaningful youth participation, and we have developed a training module through which we have trained more than 60 trainers globally on how to involve young people meaningfully into programs, projects and organizations. The difference was made by the trainers who we have trained, who in then turn trained numerous young girls in general, and adults on meaningfully involving young people, including young girls, into the programs and projects, eventually improving the impact of the programs and the lives of the girls, the trainers, and the girls on the ground.
Hola, soy Marjorie de Perú, de Plan Internacional. Estoy aquí, estoy súper emocionada. Soy vocera de las niñas de mi país, Perú. Y bueno, estoy aquí porque estoy cansada de que siempre suframos acosos callejeros en las calles y que nuestras familias impongan en nuestras decisiones, como si queremos empezar nuestra vida sexual o si queremos ser activistas o feministas o no, y siempre como que nos prohíben o nos dicen no, tú no, porque nuestra religión lo impone así, y cuando no es así nosotros tenemos que tener nuestras propias decisiones. Y bueno, y estoy acá porque en mi vida lo he vivido y bueno, estoy representando a las niñas que luchan contra esto, y bueno, solamente seguir dando el ejemplo para las futuras lideresas.
If there's any one time that I made a difference, was when I became a member of White Peer Filipinas, Act 2030 Philippine Alliance, Women Deliver. It's because of these organizations that I was given the chance to develop my skills and my talents, my capabilities to be able to share my story and to share the truth of other people to the Philippine population, or the Filipinos, the young Filipinos that do not have the same opportunities that I was able to get. So teaching them about gender disparities, abuses, and the opportunities that we can work with, that I think is one difference that I was able to make.
I am a mechanical engineer, and I motivated my daughter to become a mechanical engineer, which is a very male-dominated career. And she took that challenge and she became a mechanical engineer and working in the energy sector as a mechanical engineer. And that is the difference I have made in my daughter's life, to motivate other girls to pursue a very male-dominated career in mechanical engineering.
So, considering the question, what is one time you made a difference for gender equality, I think that it's not just about making a difference one time, it's about maybe just doing one thing that makes a difference over and over and over again. So for me, what I have been doing in, just my community, the schools I've attended, in my post-secondary education, my classes, working with males just in general and being around them, is bringing males into the conversations, because men have very important roles in society as fathers, partners, care providers, brothers, teachers, leaders, and more. So it's important to tell them what feminism means and what being a woman means, so that they can understand that for women themselves, and continue to promote gender equality, women's empowerment, in both the short and long term. So I think it's really important to have women's backs. Like if a woman is being interrupted or being interjected, it's important to say that you'd like to hear her finish and that it's important for a woman's voice to be valued at the table. Let's say you're, working with a coworker like me and Jade work together, we advocate together, and if I ever see her struggling, I'm going to have her back and, hold up cue cards for her, whatever she needs, because women need to help women. If we're not helping each other, if we're not uplifting each other, helping each other advocate, we're really going backwards and just supporting all of the unfeminist views.
Yeah, and picking up on that point, I think it's really important as well to compliment our fellow women. I know it may be awkward sometimes to just say, oh, you look pretty today, or what you did was really good, but it really is the confidence boost that they need sometimes, so it's important to do that because it's one way of empowering our fellow women as well.
Absolutely.
I'm a member of the Girl Scouts of the Philippines since I was at a very young age, and until now I'm still actively involved in the movement, and I think it's one of the best platforms wherein I actually make a difference in terms of gender equality, since before, where I was only a member and undergoing the trainings and programs, now I'm actually one of the peer educators in the movement, and through that I'm actually empowering girls and young women to kind of break the stereotype and to unleash their fullest potentials and to fight for more opportunities, more equal opportunities for girls and young women around the globe. And I'm hoping that through that, they themselves will also do their part to empower and to help other girls and young women realize that being a woman is their superpower.
I'm Alicia Brella. I'm a professional musician, songwriter, and music producer, and I work with youth a lot. And I make a difference for gender equality every time I go on stage, because I go on stage and I sing my heart and my truth with confidence. And every time I go on stage, I think of my grandmother and my dadima and the women before me who had so much to say and think and didn't have the platform that I do. And I also look out at the audience and I see the young girls who come out to my shows, the little children aged 1 till sometimes 85, and I think of the people who come out and hope I influence them by being a strong, speaking from the heart human being, because that's what I think women are pretty good at.
Hi. I think anybody can make a difference. You don't have to be an expert, you just have to be passionate and have some motivation and a team that supports your same mission. So what I've done to make a difference is that I hosted a honoring for our two-spirited people in our community, where we blanketed them in a cultural way. In First Nations culture, blanketing a person is a way to offer them comfort. And I think what I wanted to do was to let our two-spirited people know that we love them, we care about them, and we accept them, and that we honor them for their uniqueness and their strength and their endurance and just everything about who they are. And our community needs to also share that message as well.